Hi guys, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the Twin Flame family. And thanks for all of you who checked out the new website yesterday and signed up for sessions and asked to be part of the weekly Twin Flame conference calls that are free. So if you haven't checked it out yet, it is thetwinflamefamily.com. And I wanted to talk about something that came up in our support group call last night, as well as I get this question very frequently when I talk to other twin flames. And the question is, what does it feel like to surrender? And I kind of wanted to dig into that a little bit. So what is surrender, first of all? Okay, so I think in our twin flame dynamics, when there is the separation, which I went through as well, there tends to be an outward focus on what is happening in the 3D. And a lot of times the focus is on trying to control the situation or on expectations or disappointment of those expectations and wanting more or needing something from the other person. And that is not complete surrender, and it is not complete, unconditional love. You may still love the person, but we're on our way towards ascension, which means that we're in this to really learn how to love unconditionally. So unconditional love aligns with the concept of surrender, and being that to love unconditionally means you're loving with full acceptance, with no expectations, with no limitations of fear or control or needing or wanting or expecting, right? So I think what happens for most twin flames in the separation process, or even if you're in union but just experiencing some like runner dynamics or having difficulties, usually what I hear is that there is a frustration that spawns, and it's usually frustration with the other person and what they're not giving to you or what they are giving. So if they're giving erratic behavior or toxic behaviors, or if they're not giving you enough love, or communication seems to be a big one. So if someone if your twin all of a sudden pulls away from calling you, or if communication is sporadic, of course, in any relationship that would send you into an emotional roller coaster. But you're being asked to, in this special relationship, to allow that person to do what they may, and to realize it is not a reflection of you or how they feel for you at a soul level, to accept that and to make peace with that, and to understand that the twins who are playing out karmic relationships, the twins who are away from us because they're not ready for the commitment because they haven't stepped into their full masculinity or full femininity, if they still have healing to do, our job is to give them the space and to allow for that. There is no doubt that we may feel that they act stupidly, say stupidly, or ignorant, or rude, or mean, but the idea is to try not to have your feelings hurt, but to learn from them. Remember, they're mirroring us, we're mirroring them. And so the wounds that they're reacting from, or the things that need healing in them are a lot of times similar to what needs healing within us. So the focus needs to be internal. It needs to be on you, on your mission, on your life. And so somebody asked me last night in the call, well, how do you stop thinking about your twin flame? But the idea is to not stop thinking about your twin flame, but to think of them and that from that higher vibration. So from a higher place of pure love, pure intention. You know, you can go into meditations and be in a very happy place with your twin and not need the physical 3D communication right now because it's not time for it. If they're not giving it to you, it's not time for it. So you can't beg for it. You can't be mad at it. You can't. What happens when we get into that frustrated space is that we start bringing in negative energy, okay? And we start strangling the energy between the connection, okay? So your twin is going to pull away even more. They're going to sense on some level that frustration that you're holding, that you're vibrating. And you will serve the relationship as a whole. Even though you don't see everything, you're not going to be able to see this. You can't see the vibration, but you can feel it. And the vibration needs to be one of happiness, of love, of purity, of surrender, of non-expectation, of unconditional love. And I can honestly tell you that when you are finally in a surrendered place, you will feel joyful. You will feel happy. You will look at this as if it's a beautiful process. So if you are feeling frustrated, anxious, annoyed, if you're needing, wanting, expecting all those things that are making you feel so like upset or feeling like you just want to be done with this, that's your compass, that's your guide, that's telling you haven't fully surrendered yet. You may have moments of surrender, but you're not quite there yet. So the other question that I get often is, all of a sudden, or someone tells me, all of a sudden I woke up today and like the feelings are gone. I just don't care anymore. I can't do this anymore and it's too hard and I don't even feel love for my twin anymore. And I've heard this so often that I have to say that I truly believe that when you reach that place, that sometimes it's your ego covering up all like the hurt and frustration that you felt in the process, and it sort of numbs you. And for others, I feel like it is that you're starting to surrender, and it just feels so different that you think you're numb. You think, so if you feel like you're in that indifferent space, that I don't care space, what happened? All of a sudden I was so in love with him and now I just don't feel anything, or I don't feel my twin. You and your twin flame, if this is your twin flame, as you've proven through all the symptoms up to this point, most of you know that it truly is. The feelings can't disappear. The connection isn't going to just go away. What's happening is that your relationship to the connection may be changing, and that's a good thing. And, feeling like I don't care just might be the contrast to caring so much about the 3D, feeling so outwardly wanting to control and manipulate everything, to just going like this, I surrender. And then your job is to slip into the joyful place, to say, send that person a beam of light. Allow for them to live their lives and do what they're doing. And know and have faith that they will come around, and that as you do your healing, they will also do their healing. Surrender feels, like I said, feels joyful. It won't feel like this frustrated space that you've been in. And I remember a moment when, over the summer, when my twin and I were in separation and I was really struggling with it. You can look back to my videos and see more than a couple of those. And I remember one day just driving down the road. It was like the first really warm day in the spring, and I had opened my sunroof and it was really sunny. And even though I had moments of surrender and true like unconditional love and not needing, wanting, blah, 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 I hadn't slipped into that space yet. But I remember that day in the car, so I was feeling like the sun filter in through the sunroof and like just basking in it. I felt really happy. And I noticed that I had surrendered completely. And from that point on, really stayed in surrender until we came back together. Were there moments where I would come out of it? Yeah, definitely. Especially when we weren't really in contact and he would then contact me again. it would kind of pull me out of that place. But once you know what surrender feels like, and once you're there, you go back into it much more easily, and your moments out of it will be much shorter each and every time. It's like you're retraining yourself, you're reprogramming yourself to be in that let go space, to allow things to happen. And look what happened with me. Things did flow. He did flow back to me. He did things much more rapidly than I expected. I was thinking, like through dreams I had had and everything, that we might come back together in maybe November, or maybe his karmic relationship would end in the fall. I was getting that intuitive feeling. I was getting those messages. But he ended it in August, early August. And he and I, or actually in July, and he and I came back together in August. And it's like, I truly believe that that was happening on his end, that rapid acceleration, because I had let go and surrendered. I was doing my healing work. I was rapidly accelerating through my own growth and healing process. Has it been a picnic or like a perfect union since we've been back together? No, there's still a lot of healing that needs to happen. But I think that the key to letting things flow is to not strangle the energy as we are, and it's law of attraction. When we're feeling negative, we're going to pull negative things in. And being so connected with the other part of your soul, they can feel that energy too. And a lot of our twins, especially if they're playing out karmic relationships, most of them, and most everyone I've talked to, they're not happy, those twins playing out karmic relationships. They're not satisfied. They're still connected with us, their twin flames, because they know their soul is yearning for something else. So when you become an added force of dissatisfaction or energetic muck, it's just going to weigh the situation down. So for you and for your own healing, and also let's just say that you have missions and things to do, and you may look back at your separation and go, wow, I'm so happy I had that time. Like, seriously, I'm happy I had that time. I did a lot of work and got on a new mission and started a new business, and I'm thankful for it. And you may not have that time again, not the way that it was. You're being given this time, appreciate it, be grateful for it, relax into it instead of resisting it. Yeah, that's the message for today about surrender. If you have any questions, I disabled the comments on the YouTube just because it was a lot to keep up with, and I like to respond. But if there's something that you're dying to reach out about, please feel free to email me, transformationscapecod@gmail.com. And I am now working individually with twin flame guidance sessions, both tarot and psychic readings combined with healing sessions, practical advice, doing soul coaching sessions that have a lot of the healing work, like the shadow work that we need to facilitate to heal and get to the next level. So if you're interested in any of that, that can be accessed through my website, thetwinflamefamily.com. And otherwise, I hope everyone is well, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye.